Welcome to the most exciting coin discovery of your life. Today, we're diving into the mysterious and ultra-rare bicentennial coins, an ordinary-looking coin with the power to make you a millionaire overnight. If you've got this hidden gem in your pocket, your entire future could change in an instant. Let's unlock the secrets behind this legendary piece of treasure. First up, the story of the 1986 Roosevelt Dime begins during a fascinating period in American history. The United States was experiencing significant economic growth during the mid-1980s, with technological innovation accelerating and financial markets attracting widespread attention. President Ronald Reagan was serving his second term, and the nation was witnessing major cultural and economic changes. Amid these historic events, millions of dimes were quietly produced at the Denver Mint for everyday commerce. Most Americans never gave these small coins a second thought. They passed from hand to hand, disappeared into cash registers, and accumulated in pocket change across the country. Yet decades later, collectors would discover that certain examples of the 1986 Roosevelt Dime possessed characteristics capable of transforming an ordinary 10-cent coin into a highly desirable collectible worth far more than its face value. This is the remarkable story of how condition, rarity, preservation, and minting anomalies can elevate a common circulation coin into a prized numismatic treasure. The Roosevelt Dime series itself carries deep historical significance. Introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the design served as a tribute to one of the most influential leaders in American history. The coin was created by renowned sculptor and engraver John R. Sinek, whose initials appear subtly on the design. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II made him one of the most respected figures in American politics, and his association with the fight against polio through the March of Dimes campaign made the dime denomination a fitting memorial. By 1986, the Roosevelt Dime had already been in production for 40 years, becoming one of the most recognizable coins in American circulation. While millions were struck annually, collectors continuously searched for exceptional examples that stood apart from the ordinary pieces circulating through the economy. Examining the design reveals why the Roosevelt Dime remains one of the most iconic American coin series. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date. The reverse displays a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch signifying strength and independence. The design appears simple at first glance, but advanced collectors pay close attention to strike quality, detail sharpness, and surface preservation. On many 1986 dimes, the highest points of the design may show softness due to production speed and die wear. Coins displaying exceptional detail in Roosevelt's hair, facial features, and the torch bands on the reverse often command substantial premiums because they represent the very best examples produced by the Denver Mint during that year. Official records show that the Denver Mint produced more than 721 million Roosevelt dimes in 1986. At first glance, such a large mintage suggests that the coin should never be valuable. However, experienced collectors understand that mintage figures alone rarely determine rarity. The true measure of rarity often lies in survival rates and quality distribution. While hundreds of millions entered circulation, only a tiny fraction survived in pristine condition. Most were heavily used in commerce, accumulating scratches, contact marks, discoloration, and wear. Others were stored improperly, cleaned by well-meaning owners, or damaged by environmental exposure. As decades passed, the number of truly exceptional examples became dramatically smaller than the original production total, creating scarcity among the highest-grade survivors sought by advanced collectors. One of the most important factors influencing value is strike quality. During high-volume production years such as 1986, mint facilities often prioritized output efficiency. Dies were used extensively, and slight deterioration could affect the sharpness of details. Collectors carefully examined torch bands, lettering, Roosevelt's hair, and other high points when determining quality. Registry set participants, who compete to assemble the finest graded collections, seek coins with extraordinary strike characteristics combined with pristine surfaces. Because so few 1986 D-dimes achieve the highest certified grades, competition can become intense. This demand creates significant premiums for examples that represent the finest known survivors, even though millions of ordinary pieces remain readily available. The most exciting discoveries involve varieties and mint eras. While no major mainstream variety dominates the 1986 D Roosevelt Dime series, specialists continue searching for double dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and dramatic misalignment errors. A double die occurs during die creation when hub impressions fail to align perfectly, creating visible doubling on letters or design elements. Off-center strikes result when a coin blank is improperly positioned during striking. Die cracks develop as minting dies endure enormous pressure over extended production runs. Some of these errors may appear minor, while others are immediately visible to the naked eye. The rarity and visual appeal of a dramatic error can increase collector demand substantially, especially when certified by respected grading services. Understanding how these errors occur makes the hunt even more fascinating. During die production, multiple hub impressions were historically required to transfer the design onto a working die. Slight movement between impressions could create hub doubling. Die cracks formed when metal fatigue developed after repeated strikes. Off-center errors resulted from mechanical feeding issues that allowed blanks to enter striking chambers incorrectly. Although mint marks were punched by machine during the 1980s, various production anomalies could still occur throughout the manufacturing process. These mistakes were never intended to leave the mint, yet some escaped quality control and entered circulation. Years later, attentive collectors occasionally discover such pieces in rolls, dealer inventories, estate collections, or inherited accumulations of pocket change. Condition plays an enormous role in determining value, particularly for a 1986 D-dime described as scratched and toned. Natural tunning develops gradually as metal reacts with its environment over time, often creating attractive colors that collectors appreciate. Original surfaces are generally preferred because they provide evidence that a coin has not been altered. Cleaning, on the other hand, frequently damages microscopic surface texture and can reduce collector interest significantly. Professional grading services evaluate factors such as wear, strike quality, luster, originality, and surface preservation. A scratched and toned 1986 D-dime would typically trade at modest levels if no rare variety is present, often ranging from face value to a few dollars depending on overall eye appeal. However, if the same coin displays a significant mint error or recognized variety, values could increase considerably. Mint state examples with exceptional certification grades may reach hundreds or even thousands of dollars in specialized circumstances driven by registry competition and scarcity. The most valuable Roosevelt dimes achieve extraordinary prices not because they are ordinary coins, but because they combine multiple factors rarely found together. Exceptional preservation, elite certification grades, strong provenance, dramatic errors, and registry set demand can create intense competition among collectors. When two advanced buyers need the same finest known coin to improve their rankings, auction prices may exceed traditional expectations. This phenomenon has produced remarkable results throughout the Roosevelt Dime series, demonstrating that even modern circulation coins can become important collectibles under the right circumstances. The 1986 D Roosevelt Dime reminds us that rarity is often hidden beneath the surface. A small 10-cent coin that once traveled through everyday commerce can become a respected collectible when condition, originality, scarcity, and collector demand align. While most examples remain common, the search for extraordinary survivors continues to inspire collectors, proving that even one of America's smallest coins can hold a surprisingly significant place in the world of numismatics. Another fascinating aspect of the 1986 D Roosevelt Dime is the role that chance plays in determining which coins survive for future generations. When these dimes entered circulation in the mid-1980s, virtually nobody set aside large quantities with the expectation that they would become valuable collectibles. Unlike earlier silver Roosevelt dimes that were often saved for their precious metal content, the copper-nickel-clad dimes of 1986 circulated heavily and were treated as ordinary pocket change. As a result, countless examples were lost, damaged, melted in industrial accidents, or simply worn down through decades of use. This creates an interesting paradox within modern numismatics. A coin can have an enormous original mintage, yet still become genuinely scarce in elite condition. For collectors pursuing the finest known examples, the challenge is not finding a 1986 D dime. It is finding one that has somehow escaped decades of contact marks, environmental exposure, and handling. Every surviving high-grade specimen represents a small miracle of preservation, and that rarity of condition is often what separates an ordinary coin from a highly sought-after collectible. As the Roosevelt Dime series continues to attract new generations of collectors, the 1986 D issue serves as a powerful reminder that valuable discoveries are not limited to ancient rarities or famous silver coins. Careful examination of everyday pocket change has revealed numerous surprises over the years, including overlooked varieties, dramatic mint errors, and exceptionally preserved examples that command significant premiums in the marketplace. A scratched and toned 1986 D dime may not immediately appear extraordinary, yet experienced collectors understand that every coin deserves a closer look before its story is fully known. Hidden beneath decades of circulation could be an unusual die variety, a rare striking error, or an attractive natural tunning pattern that enhances desirability. That sense of possibility is what keeps collectors searching through rolls, estate collections, and forgotten coin jars. The 1986 D Roosevelt dime stands as proof that numismatics is not merely about money. It is about history, discovery, preservation, and the excitement of finding something truly special where few people think to look. Second, the story of the 1998 D Roosevelt dime begins in a year that symbolized both prosperity and transformation in the United States. The late 1990s were marked by a booming economy, rapid growth of the internet, and technological innovation that was reshaping everyday life. Americans were witnessing the rise of online commerce, personal computers were becoming household essentials, and financial markets were reaching unprecedented heights. Amid this backdrop of optimism and change, the Denver Mint quietly struck hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes intended for daily circulation. Most of these coins would spend years moving through cash registers, vending machines, and pockets across the nation. Yet hidden among this vast production were a handful of exceptional survivors and unusual mint errors that would eventually capture the attention of collectors. Today, the 1998 D Roosevelt dime demonstrates how a seemingly ordinary 10-cent coin can become a fascinating collectible when rarity, preservation, and collector demand intersect. To fully appreciate the significance of the 1998 D issue, it is important to understand the history of the Roosevelt Dime series itself. Introduced in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the coin honored a leader whose influence on American history remains profound. The design was created by chief engraver John R. Sinnock, whose portrait of Roosevelt has appeared on every circulation dime since the series began. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II earned widespread admiration, while his support of the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis, commonly known as the March of Dimes, created a symbolic connection to the denomination. More than 50 years after the design's introduction, the 1998 D Roosevelt dime continued this tradition, serving as both a circulating coin and a small historical monument carried daily by millions of Americans. The artistic design of the coin is often overlooked because of its familiarity, but collectors recognize the importance of every detail. The obverse displays Roosevelt facing left, surrounded by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1998. The reverse features a central torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. While simple in appearance, the design presents challenges for quality control. Collectors closely examine the sharpness of Roosevelt's hair, facial features, and especially the horizontal and vertical bands of the torch. Fully detailed torch bands are considered an indicator of superior strike quality, and coins exhibiting exceptional detail often command significant premiums when professionally graded. Official records indicate that the Denver Mint produced approximately 635 million Roosevelt Dimes in 1998. At first glance, this enormous mintage would seem to eliminate any possibility of rarity. However, experienced numismatists understand that rarity is determined not merely by how many coins were made, but by how many survive in desirable condition. The overwhelming majority of 1998 D-dimes entered circulation immediately and experienced years of wear. Contact marks, scratches, environmental damage, and cleaning reduced the number of high-quality survivors dramatically. As decades passed, only a small percentage remained in pristine mint state condition. Therefore, while the date itself is common, examples possessing extraordinary preservation become increasingly scarce and valuable. Survival rate analysis reveals why collectors pay close attention to condition rarity. Although millions of 1998 D-dimes still exist, the number certified at the highest grading levels is remarkably small relative to the original mintage. Strike quality varied considerably throughout production as dies aged and production demands remained high. Many coins display weakly struck details, especially in the torch bands and finer elements of the design. Collectors assembling registry quality sets search relentlessly for examples exhibiting strong strikes, attractive luster, minimal contact marks, and exceptional eye appeal. Because so few coins meet these demanding standards, registry set competition often drives prices significantly higher than many casual collectors would expect. Varieties and mint errors add another layer of excitement to the 1998 D Roosevelt Dime. Specialists search for double dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and dramatic strike anomalies. While no major mainstream variety dominates the 1998 D issue, certified error examples can attract strong collector demand. Double dies may show noticeable doubling in lettering or design elements, while die cracks appear as raised lines caused by fractures in agging dies. Off-center strikes occur when a planchet enters the striking chamber improperly aligned, producing a dramatic visual effect. These unusual pieces often stand out because they are instantly recognizable and substantially scarcer than normal circulation strikes. The creation of mint errors is a fascinating process that begins long before a coin reaches circulation. During die preparation, even a slight misalignment between impressions can result in doubled design elements. Die cracks develop after repeated exposure to tremendous striking pressure. Mechanical malfunctions may create off-center strikes or broad strikes, while planchet defects can produce clipped or incomplete coins. Although minting technology in 1998 was highly advanced compared to earlier decades, no manufacturing process is entirely immune to mistakes. Occasionally, these errors escaped inspection and entered circulation, creating future treasures for observant collectors. Some of the most valuable modern dimes discovered today were originally spent as ordinary pocket change before their unusual characteristics were recognized. For a 1998 D Roosevelt dime described as scratched and toned, condition becomes the critical factor in determining value. Natural tunning develops over years of exposure to air, humidity, and storage conditions, often producing subtle shades of gold, blue, violet, or gray. Collectors generally appreciate original tunning when it appears attractive and undisturbed. Scratches, however, can significantly reduce value because they represent physical damage to the surface. Professional grading services carefully evaluate originality, luster, strike quality, wear, and surface preservation before assigning a grade. A typical scratched and toned 1998 D-dime without a recognized variety may trade for only a modest premium over face value. Examples grading fine or very fine usually remain inexpensive, while about uncirculated pieces may command slightly higher prices. High-grade mint state examples with exceptional torch detail can reach substantial premiums. And dramatic certified errors may bring significantly stronger prices depending on rarity and visual appeal. The highest auction results for modern Roosevelt dimes are typically achieved by coins that combine exceptional grades, outstanding strike quality, and registry set desirability. Registry collectors compete to assemble the finest certified collections possible, and when a population report shows only a handful of examples at the top grade, competition can become intense. Some modern Roosevelt dimes have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars because they represented the finest known examples available at the time of sale. In many cases, the winning coin was not valuable because of age, but because of its extraordinary preservation, rarity at the assigned grade, and demand from elite collectors seeking top registry rankings. The 1998 D. Roosevelt dime illustrates this phenomenon perfectly, reminding collectors that condition rarity often matters more than mintage figures alone. It is a powerful example of how an everyday coin can become a sought-after collectible, proving that even a small clad dime can achieve remarkable value under extraordinary circumstances. One of the most compelling aspects of the 1998 D. Roosevelt dime is the possibility that undiscovered treasures may still be hiding in circulation finds, old collections, and forgotten coin jars. Unlike many classic rarities that have been studied extensively for generations, modern coins continue to reveal new discoveries as collectors examine them with increasingly advanced tools and knowledge. A seemingly ordinary 1998 D-dime with scratches and tunning might not attract attention at first glance, yet experienced numismatists understand that unusual dime markers, subtle doubling, or overlooked mint errors can remain unnoticed for years. Stories occasionally emerge of collectors finding valuable error coins in bank rolls or inherited accumulations, reinforcing the idea that rarity is not always obvious. This ongoing potential for discovery keeps the hunt alive and contributes to the enduring fascination surrounding modern Roosevelt dimes. Every coin carries its own history, and sometimes that history includes characteristics that transform a common circulation piece into a highly sought-after collectible. As time continues to pass, the surviving population of original 1998 D. Roosevelt dimes will likely become smaller as additional coins are lost, damaged, or altered. Collectors increasingly place importance on originality, recognizing that untouched surfaces and natural agging provide a direct connection to the coin's journey through history. This growing appreciation for preservation has elevated the status of exceptional examples, particularly those certified by leading grading services and recognized within competitive registry programs. The 1998 D. Roosevelt dime serves as a reminder that numismatics is about far more than face value. It is a field where history, craftsmanship, rarity, and human curiosity intersect. What began as a simple 10-cent coin produced for everyday commerce can, under the right circumstances, become a remarkable collectible admired by enthusiasts around the world. Its story proves that extraordinary value is often hidden within ordinary objects, waiting for a knowledgeable collector to recognize what others may overlook. Third, the story of the 2007 D. Roosevelt dime begins during a pivotal moment in modern American history. The United States was experiencing the final stages of a major housing boom. Smartphones were beginning to reshape communication, and technological innovation was accelerating at a remarkable pace. In 2007, Americans were increasingly connected through digital platforms, yet millions of coins still exchanged hands every day in traditional commerce. Among those coins was the humble Roosevelt dime struck at the Denver Mint. Most examples were destined for ordinary circulation, spending years in cash registers, coin jars, vending machines, and pockets across the country. Few people could have imagined that decades later collectors would carefully examine these same dimes for rare varieties, exceptional preservation, and valuable minting errors. The 2007 D. Roosevelt dime serves as a fascinating reminder that extraordinary collectibles can emerge from the most ordinary places. The Roosevelt dime series has one of the longest-running designs in American numismatic history. First introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, The coin replaced the Mercury dime shortly after Roosevelt's death. The design was created by chief engraver John R. Sinek, whose portrait of Roosevelt remains familiar to generations of Americans. Roosevelt's connection to the March of Dimes campaign made the dime denomination especially meaningful as a memorial. By 2007, the design had been circulating for more than 6 decades, becoming one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. Although modern collectors often focus on older silver issues, the continuing Roosevelt series demonstrates that even modern-clad coinage can produce highly sought-after rarities under the right circumstances. The artistic design of the 2007 Roosevelt dime appears straightforward, yet collectors understand that every detail matters. The obverse features Roosevelt facing left, accompanied by the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date. The reverse showcases a torch representing liberty, positioned between an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing peace and strength. Advanced collectors pay close attention to the sharpness of these design elements, especially the torch bands. Coins displaying fully struck torch bands and crisp details are often considered superior examples. Since striking quality can vary significantly during mass production, even small differences in detail can have a substantial impact on collector demand and long-term value. Official mint records show that the Denver Mint struck approximately 842 million Roosevelt dimes in 2007. Such an enormous mintage may initially suggest that the coin is extremely common. However, experienced numismatists know that mintage alone does not determine rarity. The true story begins after coins leave the mint. Most examples enter circulation immediately and accumulate wear, scratches, nicks, stains, and environmental damage over time. Many are lost, damaged beyond collectability, or cleaned improperly. As years pass, the number of original, high-quality survivors becomes dramatically smaller than the original production figure. This distinction between mintage and surviving condition rarity is one of the most important concepts in modern coin collecting. When analyzing the survival rate of the 2007 Roosevelt dime, collectors focus heavily on condition and strike quality. While millions remain available in circulated grades, relatively few survive with pristine surfaces and strong strikes. Denver Mint production during this period emphasized efficiency and volume, meaning some coins exhibit minor weaknesses in detail due to die wear and production pressures. Registry set competitors search aggressively for examples certified at the highest grades, often seeking coins with exceptional luster, flawless surfaces, and complete torchband details. Because the population of top-grade specimens is small relative to collector demand, values can rise sharply for the finest certified examples even when ordinary circulated coins remain abundant. The search for varieties and mint errors adds another layer of excitement to the 2007 issue. Collectors examine these dimes for doubled dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and other production anomalies. Although no major mainstream variety defines the 2007 Roosevelt dime, certified error examples continue to attract significant interest. A dramatic off-center strike or a major doubled die can transform a coin worth only face value into a desirable collectible. Some errors are so visually striking that they immediately capture attention, while others require magnification and careful study. This constant possibility of discovery keeps collectors searching through rolls, dealer inventories, and old collections. Understanding how these errors occur provides valuable insight into the minting process itself. During die creation, slight shifts between hub impressions can produce doubled dies. Die cracks emerge as steel dies weaken under tremendous pressure after striking hundreds of thousands of coins. Off-center strikes result when planchets are not positioned correctly before the strike occurs. Broad strikes happen when restraining collars fail to contain the expanding metal during striking. Even with modern minting technology, mechanical imperfections occasionally allow unusual coins to enter circulation. These accidental creations often become some of the most desirable pieces in modern numismatics because their rarity is based on production mistakes rather than intentional design changes. For a 2007 Roosevelt dime described as scratched and toned, condition becomes a central factor in determining collector value. Natural tunning develops gradually through exposure to air and environmental conditions, often creating attractive shades of gold, blue, violet, or gray. Many collectors appreciate original tunning because it reflects the coin's natural agging process. Scratches, however, generally reduce value because they represent physical damage. Professional grading services carefully assess originality, luster, wear, strike quality, and surface preservation. A scratched and toned circulated 2007 dime without a recognized variety typically carries only a modest premium, often ranging from face value to a few dollars. Examples with rare errors may command significantly higher prices, while exceptional mint state specimens can reach hundreds of dollars or more when certified at elite grades and sought by registry collectors. The highest prices realized by modern Roosevelt dimes are often driven by a combination of rarity, preservation, grading, and collector competition. Registry set participants compete fiercely for the finest certified examples, creating strong demand whenever a coin is recognized as one of the best-known survivors. Record-setting auction results usually involve coins with extraordinary grades, exceptional eye appeal, dramatic errors, or unique population status. The 2007 Roosevelt dime demonstrates how modern coin collecting extends far beyond simple mintage numbers. A coin originally worth only 10 cents can become a prized collectible when rarity of condition, striking quality, originality, and collector demand converge. Its story reminds us that numismatic treasures are not always ancient or silver. Sometimes they are modern coins hiding in plain sight, waiting for a knowledgeable collector to recognize their significance. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 2007 Roosevelt dime is the fact that many of its potential treasures may still be undiscovered. Unlike classic 19th century rarities that have been examined by generations of collectors, modern circulation coins continue to offer opportunities for new discoveries. Coin roll hunters frequently search through thousands of dimes, hoping to uncover an overlooked error, an unusually well-preserved specimen, or a piece displaying remarkable natural tunning. The excitement comes from the possibility that a coin worth only 10 cents in circulation could reveal characteristics that make it far more desirable to collectors. Even a scratched and toned example deserves careful examination because certain mint errors remain visible despite circulation wear. History has shown that some of the most fascinating numismatic finds began as ordinary coins pulled from pocket change, proving that rarity can sometimes hide in the most unexpected places. As the years continue to pass, the 2007 Roosevelt dime is gradually transitioning from a modern circulation coin into a recognized collectible from a specific era of American history. Fewer original examples remain untouched, and collectors are becoming increasingly selective about quality, originality, and eye appeal. This trend highlights an important lesson in numismatics. Value is often created not by age alone, but by a combination of preservation, rarity, demand, and historical significance. The 2007 Roosevelt dime may never be considered a classic rarity in the traditional sense, yet exceptional examples continue to attract attention because they represent the finest survivors of a massive production run. Its journey from the presses of the Denver Mint to the collections of dedicated enthusiasts demonstrates how even a small 10th. The story of the 2014 Roosevelt dime begins during a remarkable period in modern American history. In 2014, the United States was continuing its recovery from the financial crisis of the previous decade. Technology companies were reshaping daily life, and mobile devices had become an essential part of modern culture. While headlines focused on innovation, economic growth, and global events, the United States Mint continued its centuries-old mission of producing coinage for commerce. Among the billions of coins struck that year was the humble 2014 Roosevelt dime, produced at the Denver Mint and released into circulation with little fanfare. Most Americans viewed it as nothing more than 10 cents, yet numismatists understand that even modern coins can develop fascinating stories. Hidden within massive production runs are extraordinary survivors, unusual minting errors, and condition rarities that transform ordinary pocket change into highly desirable collectibles. The 2014 Roosevelt Dime represents one of those intriguing modern issues whose true significance emerges only through careful examination. The Roosevelt Dime series itself is rooted in American history and national remembrance. Introduced in 1946 following the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the series honored a leader whose impact on the nation extended far beyond politics. Roosevelt guided the United States through the Great Depression and World War II, while also inspiring millions through his personal battle with polio. The coin was designed by chief engraver John R. Sinnock, whose portrait of Roosevelt remains one of the most enduring images in American coinage. By 2014, the Roosevelt Dime had already served the nation for nearly 7 decades, becoming one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. While the design remained familiar, collector interest continued to evolve as specialists searched for exceptional examples among modern issues that many people ignored. The design of the 2014 Roosevelt Dime rewards close inspection. On the obverse, Roosevelt's portrait is accompanied by the inscriptions "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date. The reverse features a central torch representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch symbolizing peace and an oak branch representing strength. Although the design appears straightforward, collectors evaluate numerous subtle characteristics. Strike quality, surface preservation, and the completeness of the torch bands are particularly important. Fully struck torch bands indicate strong metal flow during the striking process and are highly desirable among advanced collectors. A coin that appears ordinary to the casual observer may reveal remarkable technical quality under magnification, making it significantly more valuable than the average example H. The Denver Mint produced approximately 1.16 billion Roosevelt dimes in 2014, making it one of the larger modern mintages within the series. Such a large production figure might seem to eliminate any possibility of rarity, but experienced collectors know that mintage numbers tell only part of the story. What matters more is how many coins survive in collectible condition. The overwhelming majority of 2014 dimes entered circulation immediately, where they accumulated wear, scratches, environmental damage, and countless contact marks. Many were stored improperly, cleaned, or otherwise altered. As years pass, the number of original high-grade survivors becomes dramatically smaller than the original mintage. This concept of condition rarity explains why certain modern coins command surprising premiums despite their enormous production totals. Survival rates play a crucial role in determining collector demand. Millions of 2014 dimes remain available today, but only a tiny fraction possess the combination of sharp strike, strong luster, and clean surfaces required for elite certification grades. The highest graded examples often attract attention from registry set competitors who seek the finest known coins for their collections. Registry competition has transformed many modern issues by creating intense demand for top population examples. When only a limited number of coins achieve the highest certified grades, competition among advanced collectors can elevate prices dramatically. Thus, rarity in modern coin collecting is often defined not by the number struck, but by the scarcity of exceptional survivors. One of the most exciting aspects of the 2014 Roosevelt Dime involves the possibility of mint errors and varieties. Collectors actively search for double dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and other production anomalies. Although no widely recognized major variety dominates the 2014 issue, certified error coins continue to attract strong interest. A dramatic off-center strike or a significant double die can transform an otherwise common dime into a highly collectible piece. The rarity and visual appeal of such errors often determine their value, with dramatic examples drawing the strongest premiums. For collectors, the possibility of finding an unusual error among ordinary circulation coins remains one of the most exciting aspects of the hobby. The process by which mint errors occur is both technical and fascinating. Double dies originate during die creation when design impressions are not perfectly aligned. Die cracks develop as minting dies endure immense pressure over prolonged production periods. Off-center strikes occur when planchets enter the striking chamber improperly positioned. Broad strikes result when retaining collars fail to contain the metal during the striking process. While mint technology in 2014 was highly advanced, the enormous volume of coins produced each year meant that occasional mistakes were inevitable. Most errors were detected and removed during quality control, but a small number escaped into circulation. These accidental creations often become some of the most desirable modern collectibles because their rarity is based on unusual production circumstances rather than planned design changes. For a 2014 Roosevelt Dime described as scratched and toned, condition analysis becomes especially important. Natural toning develops over time as the coin interacts with its environment, sometimes creating attractive colors ranging from golden and amber hues to shades of blue, violet, and gray. Collectors generally value original surfaces because they provide evidence that a coin has not been altered. Cleaning, however, often damages microscopic surface characteristics and can significantly reduce collector appeal. A scratched and toned circulated 2014 Dime without a recognized variety typically carries a value close to face value or a modest collector premium. Fine and very fine examples generally remain inexpensive, while about uncirculated coins may command slightly higher prices. Mint state examples with superior strike quality and outstanding preservation can sell for substantially more, particularly when certified at top grades. Error coins and notable varieties may command significantly higher premiums depending on rarity and demand. The most valuable examples of the 2014 Roosevelt Dime demonstrate how extraordinary circumstances can elevate an ordinary coin into an important collectible. Record auction prices for modern Roosevelt dimes are generally achieved by coins possessing exceptional grades, dramatic mint errors, or population rarity within registry-set competition. Collectors seeking the finest certified examples often compete aggressively, especially when a coin represents one of the best-known survivors. The 2014 Roosevelt Dime reminds us that numismatic value is created through a combination of rarity, preservation, demand, and historical context. What began as a simple 10-cent coin intended for everyday transactions can become a respected collectible when exceptional quality or unusual characteristics set it apart from the billions of other pieces produced that year. Its story proves that even in the modern era, remarkable treasures can still be found hiding in plain sight within the coins we use every day. Another reason the 2014 Roosevelt Dime continues to attract attention is the growing interest in modern coin collecting among younger generations of numismatists. Unlike classic 19th century rarities that often require substantial budgets to acquire, modern circulation issues provide an accessible entry point into the hobby. Collectors can still search bank rolls, pocket change, and inherited accumulations for overlooked treasures. This accessibility creates a unique sense of excitement because valuable discoveries remain possible without major financial investment. A seemingly ordinary 2014 Dime with scratches and toning may not appear impressive at first glance, yet experienced collectors understand that hidden characteristics such as an unusual die variety, a striking error, or exceptionally attractive natural toning can dramatically increase collector interest. Stories of remarkable finds emerging from everyday circulation continue to inspire enthusiasts, reinforcing the idea that important numismatic discoveries are not always locked away in museums or elite collections. As the decades pass, the surviving population of original 2014 Roosevelt dimes will continue to evolve. Coins will be lost, damaged, cleaned, or removed from circulation by collectors who recognize their quality. This gradual reduction in the number of untouched examples may increase the importance of superior survivors, particularly those certified by major grading services and recognized within competitive registry programs. The 2014 Roosevelt Dime serves as a powerful reminder that numismatics is ultimately a study of history, preservation, and rarity. Every coin carries a story that begins at the mint and continues through years of circulation, ownership, and survival. While most examples will remain ordinary pieces of pocket change, a select few will stand apart because of their condition, originality, or unusual production characteristics. Those exceptional survivors demonstrate how even a small clad dime can earn a respected place in the world of collectible coins, proving that extraordinary value often emerges from the 5. The story of the 2021 Roosevelt Dime begins during one of the most unusual periods in modern American history. The United States was still navigating the effects of the global pandemic. Businesses were adapting to changing economic conditions, and Americans were increasingly relying on digital transactions. Yet despite the growing popularity of electronic payments, the United States Mint continued producing billions of coins to satisfy circulation demand. Among them was the 2021 Roosevelt Dime struck at the Philadelphia Mint. To most people, it was simply another 10-cent coin passing through daily commerce. However, collectors know that every year of production tells a unique story. Hidden among millions of ordinary examples are a handful of exceptional survivors, fascinating mint errors, and condition rarities capable of transforming a common coin into a highly sought-after collectible. The 2021 Roosevelt Dime demonstrates that even in the digital age, numismatic treasures can still emerge from everyday pocket change. The Roosevelt Dime series remains one of the most enduring coin programs in American history. Introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the coin honors a leader whose influence extended across some of the most important decades of the 20th century. The design was created by chief engraver John R. Sinek, who produced a portrait that has remained largely unchanged for generations. Roosevelt's association with the March of Dimes campaign made the dime denomination particularly appropriate for this tribute. By 2021, the series had already been circulating for 75 years, creating one of the longest uninterrupted design runs in modern United States coinage. While many collectors focus on older silver issues, modern Roosevelt dimes continue to attract attention because of their potential for high-grade rarities, striking errors, and registry-quality examples. The design of the 2021 Roosevelt Dime appears familiar, yet advanced collectors examine every detail with remarkable precision. The obverse displays Roosevelt facing left, accompanied by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. The reverse features a torch symbolizing liberty, positioned between an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch representing strength. To casual observers, all examples may seem identical. However, specialists evaluate strike sharpness, luster quality, surface preservation, and especially the definition of the torch bands. Fully detailed torch bands often indicate a stronger strike and can significantly influence value when combined with superior preservation. In the world of registry competition, even subtle differences in strike quality can separate an ordinary coin from one considered among the finest known examples. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes during 2021, ensuring an abundant supply for circulation. Such a substantial mintage might suggest that the coin has little potential for rarity. However, seasoned numismatists understand that rarity is rarely determined by mintage alone. What truly matters is the number of coins that survive in exceptional condition. Most 2021 dimes immediately entered circulation and experienced the normal wear associated with daily commerce. They accumulated scratches, contact marks, discoloration, and environmental exposure. As time passes, fewer original examples remain untouched. Consequently, collectors often focus not on how many were produced, but on how many survive with outstanding eye appeal and elite technical quality. The survival rate of top-quality examples plays a major role in collector demand. Although millions of 2021 dimes remain available, only a tiny percentage qualify for the highest certification grades awarded by professional grading services. Modern coin production emphasizes efficiency and volume, meaning slight variations in strike quality and surface preservation are inevitable. Collectors pursuing registry sets compete intensely for examples displaying exceptional luster, minimal abrasions, and complete design details. Because the population of top-grade survivors is often surprisingly small, demand among advanced collectors can push values far beyond what many people expect from a modern 10-cent coin. This phenomenon has become one of the defining characteristics of modern numismatics. The possibility of mint errors adds another exciting dimension to the 2021 Roosevelt Dime. Collectors routinely search for doubled dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, strike-through errors, and other unusual production anomalies. While no major mainstream variety is universally associated with the 2021 issue, certified error examples remain highly collectible. A dramatic off-center strike or a significant doubled die can transform an otherwise ordinary dime into a prized numismatic item. Error collectors are often willing to pay substantial premiums for unusual pieces, because each one represents a unique manufacturing mistake that escaped normal quality control procedures. Understanding how these mint errors occur helps explain their appeal. Doubled dies originate during die creation when design impressions fail to align perfectly. Die cracks develop after prolonged exposure to the immense pressures involved in coin production. Off-center strikes occur when a planchet is improperly positioned during the striking process. Strike-through errors result when foreign material becomes trapped between the die and planchet. Although modern minting equipment is highly sophisticated, the sheer volume of coins produced ensures that occasional mistakes still occur. These unintended variations provide collectors with tangible evidence of the manufacturing process and often become some of the most memorable coins in a collection. For a 2021 Roosevelt Dime described as scratched and toned, condition remains the most important factor affecting value. Natural tunning develops gradually through exposure to environmental conditions and can create attractive shades of gold, blue, violet, and gray. Collectors generally appreciate original tunning because it reflects the coin's natural history. Scratches, however, are usually considered damage and can reduce collector demand significantly. Professional grading services carefully evaluate originality, luster, strike quality, wear, and surface preservation before assigning grades. A scratched and toned circulated 2021 dime without a recognized variety generally carries little premium above face value, often ranging from 10 cents to a few dollars depending on eye appeal. High-grade mint state examples may command stronger prices, while dramatic certified errors can sell for considerably more depending on rarity and collector interest. The most valuable 2021 Roosevelt dimes achieve impressive prices because of extraordinary circumstances rather than ordinary production. Coins reaching the highest certification grades, exhibiting remarkable strike quality, or displaying dramatic mint errors often attract intense bidding competition. Registry set collectors frequently pursue these elite examples because population reports may indicate only a small number exist at the finest known levels. When rarity, preservation, and collector demand align, even a modern dime can become a significant numismatic prize. The story of the 2021 Roosevelt Dime serves as a powerful reminder that valuable collectibles are not always ancient, silver, or historically famous. Sometimes the most fascinating treasures are modern coins hiding in plain sight, waiting for a sharp-eyed collector to recognize the qualities that make them truly exceptional. One of the most fascinating realities surrounding the 2021 Roosevelt Dime is that its full numismatic story is still being written. Unlike classic coin issues that have been studied for generations, modern coins continue to reveal new discoveries as collectors search through bank rolls, mint sets, dealer inventories, and inherited accumulations. Every year, previously unnoticed die varieties and unusual mint errors are identified by attentive hobbyists using advanced magnification and photography techniques. This means that even a circulated 2021 dime with scratches and tunning should never be dismissed without careful examination. History has repeatedly shown that valuable discoveries can emerge from coins that initially appear ordinary. The possibility that an overlooked variety or dramatic production error could still be hiding among millions of surviving examples keeps collectors engaged and contributes to the excitement that surrounds modern coin collecting. In many ways, the hunt itself becomes as rewarding as the discovery, transforming a simple search through pocket change into a genuine treasure hunt. As future generations look back on the early 2020s, the 2021 Roosevelt Dime will serve as a small but meaningful artifact from a unique period in American history. It circulated during a time of rapid technological change, shifting economic conditions, and evolving consumer habits, making it a tangible connection to an era that future historians and collectors will continue to study. While most examples will remain common circulation coins, a select group distinguished by exceptional preservation, rare mint errors, outstanding strike quality, or remarkable originality will continue to attract collector interest. These extraordinary survivors demonstrate one of the most important lessons in numismatics. Value is often created through scarcity, condition, and demand rather than age alone. The 2021 Roosevelt Dime proves that even a modern 10-cent coin can become a respected collectible under the right circumstances, reminding us that remarkable stories and unexpected value can sometimes be found in the smallest pieces of everyday American history.